Hi, welcome to Zach Labs. Today I wanted to dive into weathering and texturing, especially if you are doing something with a post-apocalyptic, really old type of look and trying to get what it looks like specifically for metals. And how do you apply different kind of textures to it? So I've got about 6 different textures here today that I did out of just a whole bunch of variety of ordinary things that you can have access to. There's nothing really fancy about anything that I've done here, but there's like 6 different looks and feels of texturing that I'm going to talk about. It's all done on regular EVA foam that we sell here at Zach Labs. It's like a Y40. It's really nice type of a foam. It's got smooth on both sides. So that's what we're using today to do all our testing on. Before I actually show you what the texturing looks like on the foam, what I thought would be really cool is to look at what does weathering look like on real metal. So I've got some pieces here that have been really used well over the years. And this is actually solid metal. I've got a wedge here, a piece of angle iron, it's a rebar actually, that used for concrete. It's got some rust on it, so we're going to take some close-up looks of that. An axe that has some weathering on it also, and I'll give you a close-up look at this. And then we're going to actually take a little field trip outside to look at some weathering, some really good rust weathering of what we're trying to mimic on foam and other types of materials, so it looks like it's really been rusted or weathered or it's been used. So let me give you a close-up look of what some of this stuff looks like up close and personal. So here's the wedge that has been used over the years, and you can see just how it looks when it's really weathered. It's been used, it's been hit a lot on the end here for out chopping wood and splitting stuff. So when you're trying to mimic something, you can see how it's been rounded here by hitting on it a lot. You can see some of the original silver that it was made with, but over the years some rust, some weathering has set in place here. You can even see like a point here where something really hard, probably another axe or something, hit into it and made it a divot in there, as if, let's say it's a battle axe hitting it. A lot of the other types of weathering here where things have hit it. So here's an axe, and it's really got some nice colorization on there. If I can get that to shine in the right direction there. Some striations around the edge here where it's been hit on into the wood a lot. Same thing on the base of the axe here, and also look at the wood. Just really cool texturing on there, and this is like just real life how it's been used. This is the first thing that I do when I'm weathering, is that I actually say, what am I trying to mimic here? And how do I make it look as if it's really been used, not just fake weathering? I love the fact on the wood here how it's been chipped away by using it. You've got a lot of the wood grain, you can still see some of the varnish there. On this side you can see where it's been chipped away a lot there on the wood. It's really kind of cool looking. How do we mimic that? Today we're just going to be looking at how do we mimic this look on the metal here. What kind of texturing that we can use for that. So we're taking a little field trip outside, and this is a old wheelbarrow that I found outside that we're going to take a look at up close and see what the texture and the color looks like. It's really cool if you look at the different colors, you look at the different textures textures that are on there. We've got all kinds of, there's something where it was sitting on it. Some bubbling effect of the rust, how it has on the metal. This is really cool over here too. You can see different variations on it. The rich colors are really cool. It's got a base dark underneath it, and then all different kinds of this rust color is what we call it. Orange, reds, dark browns, even kind of a mocha. You want to throw that in there? Okay, now that we kind of know what we're going for, the type of rust and texture, let's start off with our base texture that we want to work with. Now I've got 6 different variations here, everything from just subtle texture to really super intense texture. So again, it's all based on a nice, clean, smooth foam that we're working with, EVA foam. The first one is a heated texture. Now this is supposed to be looking like a hammered look, and you can, there's a lot of different ways to get this type of a hammered look onto foam. I'll give you a close-up look here at it. There's the textured of a hammered look, and once you apply some paint to that and various things, it's going to kind of look really cool, like a hammered surface on a piece of foam. And you can see where I've got some small type of indentations here. On the other side, some larger ones on that side. Kind of depends on how you want it to look as far as what's been hammered and what's been made into the armor. The second piece here, this is simple sand. It's just a fine sand. I put some spray adhesive on there, and then I poured on the sand and just kind of smooshed it into the spray adhesive and then covered it with a Plastidip. It's got a really cool feel to it. Just feels super rough, like you know, some rusted piece of metal on there. This piece here is a spray texture that you can get. It's just called a stone spray texture. Rust-Oleum makes it, and it's stone texture finish. Now it comes out, when it first comes out, it'll look like stone. It looks like a grayish type of a stone on there, but it's a little smoother in the sand, but it's got some really nice texture on it. Again, this has been covered with Plastidip. Now this is a really cool, this is probably one of my favorite ones here of all the textures. It's a medium type of a texture on here. It's really flexible. You can bend your foam with it. It's not cracking or anything. What this is, I found this at Joann's Fabric. It's called Deco Art Snow Tex. And it comes out pure white. And it's just this cool texture. And it dries pretty fast, and then I covered it with Plastidip, and has a really, really cool texture to it. So this piece here, interestingly enough, is a combination of regular table salt on this end. I put spray adhesive, and then I put the salt on that. Some really nice texture, and again, it's flexible, moves with the foam. On this end, that's rock salt. Again, spray adhesive, put it on, put a couple coats of Plastidip on it. It's pretty durable on there. You can bend it around. The rock salt might have the possibility of flaking off a little bit more, so I probably put a couple of coats of Plastidip on that to really seal it on there. But again, it's got some really cool, super heavy texture on there. Now, the last one, this looks like Fleck paint. And this texture here is actually made with flecks of dried paint. I have a piece of silicone that I paint on all the time. So this is what it looks like. And it just flakes right off. So this is a painting mat. It was actually originally for baking stuff in the oven, but we repurposed it into painting on, and the paint will just fleck right off of this. It's just really cool how it comes right off in pieces, chunks of it. And then I took a pile of that and again put some spray adhesive on the foam, and it's got a very, very cool texture to it, and it's pretty durable, it's flexible, and it in various amounts you can make it look as if the paint is chipping off. It's a really cool looking type of a texture to it.